Good day and welcome to the Parent Conference, grades 4 to 8, and it's August 2023. I would like to explain to you the virtual Eisteddfod. Every year we've got a virtual Eisteddfod, and most of the events is pre-recorded. It's music, dancing, drama, you can do written work, documentaries, and much more. Please visit teams, the parent team and the student team, and visit the virtual Eisteddfod page for more information. The registration for this year's Eisteddfod is between the 22nd and 28th of September. It's in a month's time. It's only the registration. You'll find all the info on that page. Then the entries will be between 20 and 27th of October. There's only one event that is a live event, and that is the culinary cook-off. It's about 2 hours long, where all the participants will join in a Teams, let's call it a meeting, but everybody can see everybody while they are busy preparing in their kitchen. So their videos are on, and you can watch how they prepare a dish. Please visit that web page for more information. And the theme this year is Share a Smile. I will keep that theme every year, Share a Smile. So today we're going to talk about new vocabulary. The first one is congruence, which is a noun, a little bit of language here as well. And congruent is the adjective. And it means in harmony, in agreement, or compatibility. It means exactly equal in shape and size. So obviously you know about cell phone chargers, the little ports, they all differ, and it's not always compatible. So congruent means exactly the same. So congruent in maths, you have a triangle and the sides are all the same and the angles are all the same. So the two shapes were the same size and same color. We call them congruent triangles. Then, when we speak about ourselves, this is me and this is inside of me. So I must live in harmony with myself, exactly the same on the inside as on the outside. Don't try and be someone else. Sometimes we try and live up to someone else's standards, or, well, high or low. We want to be like somebody else. But we must be the same inside and outside. What you say is what you mean. So, who do you want to be? What are your values? Your values also shows your character at the end of the day. What are your values? But the biggest question is, do you stand up for those values? And this is where we as parents need to bring our kids up with high moral values and build character, positive character, godly character. What kind of person do you want to be? How do you treat other people? Do you treat other people with respect and kindness? You will find that we are very strict at our school with respect and kindness, specifically towards the teachers as well as students towards their parents. They have to speak to you with respect, or any person older than them, or any person for that matter. So if somebody send a message to a teacher and they would just say, unblock my work, the teacher would reply by saying, good morning, Sally, how can I help you? Or will you please rephrase your question? Because you can't just, let's call it, shout out some orders. No, you ask properly, and it's always with the please and a thank you. So that is what we try and lay a foundation with the students. Now, life tools. Make time for what matters to you. What matters to you? Well, everybody's life is different, And what matters is also different, but there's some general things that is important. Every day is a day that you can grow. So we are never too old to learn something new, even us as parents or as adults. We're never too old to grow. What can you delete from from everyday's life? Perhaps I sit with my cell phone and I sit for hours and I just do nothing. I just don't get anywhere. That can be a distraction, or it can be something that's negative, especially whatever videos you watch. Sometimes the videos that's going around is so negative, and some news are so negative. You know what? Delete that hour out of your day. So don't put this into your brain. Now I'm going to say what matters to me. First of all, my spiritual growth, because I start every morning with devotions. I have to. I can't start my day any other way. Then my health and my nutrition. So I make sure I eat healthy. I need a healthy brain and a healthy thoughts. So again, what do I feed my brain? I just said, don't feed your brain negativity. Learn something new. You need to be able to learn something new every day. Have a positive attitude. That is what matters for me. Respect for others, because if I respect other people, they will respect me. Then, habit tracker. Create your daily habit list. And my list is, did I read my scripture today and spend time with God? I give myself 1 out of 5 points. Did I eat healthy food today? I give myself 1 to 5. Was I kind to other people? Did I check into my child's schoolwork? That is 1 for my parents. Remember, everybody can change this habit tracker as they want to. Did I do my chores in the house? Now, if a mom doesn't do the chores or a dad doesn't do the chores, well, then you've got a problem most of the time. If they didn't cook or whatever they have to do the washing, there's a problem. Did I do my chores, or did I procrastinate because tomorrow is another day? Then I was not distracted and I didn't waste time. So if I didn't do that, it would be 5 points. If I did, only 1 or 0. So this counts out of 30. So let me give you a little bit of a math lesson so that you can teach your children the math lesson. This count out of 30. So once you added up all your totals, you divide the number by 3 and you multiply it by 10. Then you get percentage. If it counted out of 40, you will divide by 4 and multiply by 10. And so you can carry on. That's how you work out percentage. So most part of your students, they know how to do it. I would say from grade 7 up. Below that, you can help them to work out percentage. Be honest with yourself at all times. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your own time. Delete whatever wastes your time, the distractions, and this can save time for some more productivity. Have a conversation with yourself every day to see how did you perform, and then assess your performance. Also score yourself a percentage. There is a habit tracker, a book that you can buy for even for adults. So because sometimes we start having bad habits, and we can change it by completing a habit tracker, and everybody's tracker will look different. Now, what difference can you make in your child's life to build that positive character? Being kind to them at all times. Being friendly with them, even if they drive you nuts. Being positive. The other day I was sitting in the car and at a school, and a mother was sitting in the car and a child was standing outside the car at the boot of the car, and I heard a commotion, and I opened my window to see and hear what was going on, and then I realized it was a mom going off on the child and the child going off on the mom in front of I want to say whoever there was who could listen, I was almost a bit, I want to say, well, I wasn't impressed the way that both spoke to each other, but it shouldn't go that far. So if your child is not kind to you, you're kind back. If they're not friendly, you're friendly back. They don't like it. If you're positive or they're negative, stay positive because it has to change. But I was embarrassed for this mom and the child that they spoke to each other. So how do you think does it go at home? Don't let it go that far. And that is where I tell my child, let's rephrase. You didn't think so clearly when you said this. Just rephrase your sentence or repeat your sentence and they immediately change that sentence. Some new vocabulary. Another one is resilient. It's a noun and resilience is an adjective. So parents, you also get a bit of a language lesson here. This is to withstand or the capacity to withstand and to recover or bounce back. So let's explain easier. A balloon. If you press the balloon, if it's blown up, if you press the balloon and you leave it, it will quickly go back to its original state. We call that resilient. Then a spring. If you stretch a spring, it jumps back to its original state immediately. So this is the spring. Look at the extension. If it's extended, it looks like this. And if you leave it, it goes into the rest. If you press it, you compress it, you leave it, it will go back to rest. So it will go back to its original state. Now, why do we talk about resilience? Because things happen. Doesn't matter what age the child is or a person is. Things happen. The question is, how do I react to that? Am I resilient? Something happens. Do I pick myself up and carry on? And it's all about how will it affect me when something happens to me? How will it affect me? And it's all about choices. It's the choices I made on how will it affect me? Am I going to be the punctured balloon and lie flat on the ground? Then you really have to start all over again, which is more difficult. Or are you going to be resilient and jump back to the original state? So the challenge at school that we sometimes have is that our parents need to follow up daily. This is an effort, I know. And let me give you another little testimony here. I looked after my granddaughters, and the one is 12, one is 13, grade 6 and 7. And it was during school time, it was 3 weeks. So the once or twice that they just went off a bit on each other, I stopped it immediately. No, we don't talk to each other like that. Rephrase. Don't let them do it. Don't let them go. Say rephrase, because we speak with respect to a person. Doesn't matter who it is. Because I've realized that is a habit by sometimes going off on each other. Then we've put some things in place and said we had to have a routine in this house. So once you get home, you get dressed, hang up your school clothes, and then finish your homework. Once the homework is done, then you come with me to the music room and we are going to practice music. So I made sure that they practice music every day. Now, I am a music teacher, so I know how to practice. So I could teach them how to practice. And we did it every day. So every day we've practiced. No excuses. There's no reason for any excuse of I'm tired or this or that. That is the first thing you have to do. Then you can carry on with your life. So, and I taught this one on the piano. The other one played drums, and I helped her there. Well, I can't play drums, but I could help her to practice. So the one on the piano, she managed certain parts that she couldn't play. And after 2 weeks, the teacher said, I can see that you really practiced. There's so much improvement. And she was so happy and satisfied with herself that she managed that because I taught her how to practice and I was there for that half an hour. It was an effort, but I took the time to be with her so that she can see the improvement. If I didn't teach her how to do that, she won't know. But to stick to it, to stick to it, to stick to it on a daily basis. So 2 weeks after I've left, I asked her, how is the music going? And then she says, and this is a girl who can take up responsibility for her own homework, for everything. She'll make sure there's food and everything. But when it comes to the practice, that responsibility is too big for now. We as parents need to do that. We need to make sure. So let's bring it back to the goals. You need to make sure that your child in the morning, that they can, that what they're going to do, and in the afternoon, what did you do? Check up. It won't take long. So after the 2 weeks, she said, okay, I'm not practicing. And then she said, because my mom is not checking me up. So we can't say a child of grade 7 is big enough to make the decisions and taking up the responsibility by himself. So then I realized that is the difference. Then follow instructions. Give them instructions. Tell them what to do and give them instruction, and they have to follow those instructions and follow up. Then motivation. Parents, you must do the motivation with a positive attitude and just motivate them because they can do it. But you need to be behind them because parents, you are setting the tone in your household. How do we speak to each other? Because we get into a habit of perhaps shouting at each other or screaming at each other or whatever. Get into the habit by speaking kindly. Speak with respect to each other. Then, lastly, school closes on the 29th of September. There's a week holiday. Only 1 week holiday, but the students need a break and you need a break. You have to give your child a 5-day holiday because you need it. It doesn't help they have to do just a little bit of that. It doesn't work. Ask me. So please enjoy a 5-day break. I hope you've learned something today.